All right, guys, so we got to talk about the deterioration of liberal cities around the country, which by far is one of my favorite topics because it is a clear and real world example of how liberal policies have destroyed these inner cities, okay? Especially the ability to do business in some of these liberal cities, and the combination of high taxes, crime, and other liberal policies, like, for example, shutdowns, that have stifled business, again, is all a domino effect that just makes the problem get worse and worse and worse over time. And again, this story about woke Starbucks closing 7 San Francisco stores is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, it is a perfect example of how, again, these liberal policies have created a perfect storm mixed with the economy as a whole, okay, interest rates, things like that, that again is resulting in the mass business exodus that you're seeing from these liberal cities. And again, one of the leading liberal cities that is currently deteriorating is San Francisco, in which you've had more than 40 businesses exodus its downtown area since the pandemic began. As of last month, they have a office vacancy rate of 30%. Okay, so 30% of offices in the downtown area are empty. Okay, 40,000 people have left. Now, again, you can imagine the type of effect this would have on a business like Starbucks that relies on foot traffic. Again, combine all this stuff with the homelessness crisis going on in San Francisco, crime, and then look at what's going on in the national economy as a whole with interest rates being super high. And then you look at the pandemic era policies that have discouraged people from actually going into the office. Okay, a lot of people have started to work from home during the pandemic, and they've continued to work from home. Now, again, a lot of these liberal cities are trying to get people to get back in the office and to work in the office. And again, one of the reasons why is because of the effect that is happening on businesses like Starbucks that depend on this type of stuff. But again, when you look at that, okay, there's no surprise that experts are predicting a commercial real estate crisis, a crash, so to speak. For example, look at the startup WeWork, which at one point was worth $47 billion. There's a commercial real estate startup, and now WeWork failed to pay a $97 million interest payment. Okay, they missed that payment, and the company's almost worth nothing. Okay, and again, part of the reason why is because of Democrat policies, or I would probably argue most of the reason why, because again, look at what happened during the pandemic with the shutdown policies, lockdown policies, work from home, also being soft on crime, okay, not locking up criminals who for theft, stealing, okay, you got vandalism, you got property damage, you got all types of stuff that is disincentivizing businesses from being in certain parts of the country, mainly these liberal cities. And again, the result of that is stories like this. So again, I want to talk about it. I basically already talked about it, but I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip here of Starbucks leaving San Francisco. And I want you guys to pay attention to how Starbucks is framing why they're leaving.
Starbucks is joining the long list of large businesses to shutter stores in San Francisco. Here's a look now at the cafes set to close. The locations primarily concentrated in the financial district, as well as one located in Nob Hill. KTVU's Amber Lee joins us now after speaking with customers and a coffee shop owner who used to work for Starbucks about all these closures. Amber.
Julie, we're in the financial district. Behind me is one of the Starbucks slated for closure. Now, many customers tell me they love the idea of having many Starbucks around because of the convenience. This Starbucks at the corner of Mission and Main in San Francisco's financial district is the go-to spot for people who work in the area.
I come twice a day, in the morning and right now. Yeah. It's just really nice to be able to walk across the street.
But as of October 22nd, 7 locations, including this one, will be closed. Most are concentrated in the downtown financial district area. In a written statement, a Starbucks spokesperson said, in part, each year, as a standard course of business, we evaluate the store portfolio to determine where we can best meet our community and customers' needs.
Starbucks, at least from what I know, has always acted very quickly in shifting business strategies. If something's not working, they're gone.
AKA Starbucks is losing money, right? They're losing money on these stores. Again, why are they losing money on these stores? Again, you got to go back to the Democrat policies. I basically already explained it, but again, it starts with the pandemic. Okay, the shutdowns, encouraging people to work from home. So you don't have as much foot traffic in these downtown areas where you have a lot of businesses, a lot of restaurants that depend on this. Now, again, this problem is not just in San Francisco, also New York City, the largest real estate market in the country. They're struggling as well, too. Okay, this is why Eric Adams is basically begging people to go back to work, because the businesses in that downtown area in Manhattan are struggling because people are working from home. So they're losing a lot of customers that would patronize the business during lunchtime or on breaks or to do meetings or whatever. Okay, so again, this whole work from home remote stuff has destroyed the commercial real estate market. It really has. So what you have is a bunch of businesses that are already operating in a not so business friendly environment. Combine that with increasing interest rates that make it more expensive to do business. And then on top of that, if you combine that with the soft on crime policies, for example, in California, it basically being legal, okay, or decriminalized to steal. You have 97% of businesses in that downtown area of San Francisco reporting some type of vandalism or theft, being a victim of that. What happens is that now that disincentivizes people from being in the downtown area even more because it's not safe. Okay. And criminals aren't being punished. So not only are you telling people to work from home, also it's not safe to be in the downtown area. Okay. And you're also allowing these businesses to get robbed out of existence. So again, now you can kind of see why you're having so much of a problem. So now what happens is that businesses start to leave. Okay, so again, you have more than 40 businesses that have left that downtown area in San Francisco. Guess what? Now there's even less people in the downtown area, and businesses like Starbucks that depend on this, they can't operate anymore, right? So now they have to leave, which makes the problem even worse. But again, that's not how the news media or Starbucks is going to frame the issue. Starbucks contributed to this problem because they supported Democrats. They supported the liberal left-wing policies that has led to their own demise. Again, it's pretty fascinating stuff to behold here.
Aiden Compton tells me he was store manager for the Starbucks on Stockton and Sutter Streets before opening up his own coffee houses in the North Beach neighborhood and on Fillmore Street. He says Starbucks has a lot of stores that are no longer generating the business they did before the pandemic.
But as soon as
Again, I explain to you guys why, right? It's like the perfect storm. Okay, it really is. But again, it's become a Democrat policies.
downtown cleared out, business dried up for everybody.
Starbucks says it is, quote, reevaluating our footprint, including adding and reopening some stores it had closed, including this one at Powell and O'Farrell at Union Square.
There's more variety here, so people have more to choose from.
Vasconiris is the former executive director of the Fillmore and West Portal Merchants Associations. He says business closures are never good, but that Starbucks is adjusting to changing consumer trends. The popularity of other types of beverage shops are likely a factor.
Yeah, but that's not really the reason at all. That's not the reason at all. It's not the popularity of other beverages or, competition. No, there's less competition, right? There's less competition than there's ever been before. There's just not the business. It's not safe. The reason why Starbucks is struggling in all these liberal cities is because these liberal cities are shitholes, right? They are trash heaps, okay? Where homeless people run around on the streets all day, harassing and attacking people. Criminals are running all of these downtown areas, all of these areas, again, that used to be safe, that used to be, good places for businesses to operate. They can't operate anymore. Again, this is why when I talk about what's going on in Chicago, when I talk about helping the black community, right? The left, they always want to put the cart before the horse, okay? This is what they want to do. They want to invest millions of dollars, billions of dollars in the black community when the black community is not safe, right? It's not a safe place to operate a business. So if businesses can't operate in a safe environment, it doesn't matter how much money you invest into a community. It's not going to go anywhere, right? You're going to be wasting money. You're going to be burning money on fire because it's not safe. Safety is the first thing. Okay, it is the first and most important thing that you can have in order for a business to operate, period. Okay, this is why defunding the police is such a destructive policy. It really is. Again, there are pros and cons when it comes to police. I get it. A lot of people have issues with police. Okay, a lot of people don't like how much conservatives support police. But in my opinion, I've weighed out the pros and cons. Okay, I don't think that all police are good. Okay, I definitely think that there needs to be some cleaning up of policing. But I would much rather have a well-funded police department than the alternative, because I know what the alternative leads to. Everybody loses with the alternative. Okay. But if you have a well-funded police department, if you support your police, yes, there's going to be some corruption. Yes, there's going to be some bad apples. But I would much rather prefer to deal with that than, again, to deal with the alternative, because the alternative means the destruction of your city. And again, that's what we're seeing happening across the country.
The emergence of the variety of boba shops that we see in the marketplace right now is a big reason for the closure of some of these mainstream coffee shops like Starbucks.
It's the boba shop. It's the boba shops, right? It's the boba tea shops, right? Again, it's not because of the liberal policies. It's not because of crime. It's not because of theft, okay, shrink, whatever you want to call it. No, it's the boba shop. The boba tea shops are driving Starbucks out of business in San Francisco. The spin here is amazing. It really is.
Some customers tell me they did not know that Starbucks is planning to close some stores in the city.
It's sad when I hear to some Starbucks is closing.
Me in San Francisco, a lot of things are closing due to the economy, due to a lot of issues that are going with the city. So, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Starbucks says no workers will lose their jobs, that all employees affected by the closures will have the opportunity to transfer to another store. Live in San Francisco, Amber Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
The gaslighting in this segment is really amazing. It really is. But again, you know, one of the reasons why these segments are my favorite segments to do, because there's a clear relationship between Democrat policies, progressives running cities, and businesses leaving, okay? Progressives create an anti-business environment. They create an unsafe environment, and they destroy cities, right? I want you guys to understand that, okay? These cities should be a warning to most voters in this country what happens when you vote for progressives, when you let liberals run your cities for too long, right? This is a classic example of get woke, go broke. It really is. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.